What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
The loss of Caitlin Clark is just too much for the WNBA to handle. Last week, the Fevers were eliminated from the playoffs. The WNBA has seen a concerning decline in viewership, attendance, and ticket sales.
Look at this little chart right here. The Fever will have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year. And the second best to that was in 1999 with the Washington Mystics at just over 400,000. So the Fever are going to account for over 200,000 more fans this year to their game.
In an attempt to draw viewers, the WNBA is currently pushing Aya Wilson everywhere, but sadly, it's not functioning.
Caitlin's departure, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full swing.
While some fans see that Caitlin's absence is an issue, others see it as an opportunity for her to enhance her media education, because they think her responses to controversy have been inadequate.
I want to be in this situation next year where I'm saying, do you remember when you people were giving her grace, saying that she's 22, media training is not there? 1 year afterwards, she's still in the same position.
Returning to Caitlin's supporters, they have just given up on the WNBA due to the animosity she was receiving. In addition to the prejudice she faced throughout the major games, the WNBA wanted her out, but now that she is out, they can't cope. They've at last understood the true nature of the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA will need to battle their way through the playoffs as Caitlin eventually settles in. Attempting to get even half of the viewers that Caitlin would have brought in, several people pushed, prodded, and smashed him to the ground. Caitlin was denied a third game against the Sun as a result of other players not being called for fouls, even after her outstanding performance.
Number of viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 17, 18,000.
Over the years, the WNBA has experienced ups and downs, but it's no secret that since Caitlin Clark joined the league, things have significantly changed. A level of excitement has been introduced by Clark, a generational talent. The recognition that the WNBA has been longing for. Her influence was felt right away, not only on the court, dominance, but in the manner she drew admirers, media interest, and casual viewers.
Caitlin Clark, she is the first Division I player, and that is male or female, to record 3,000 points, 900 assists, and 800 rebounds.
Clark is a phenomenon who has revitalized the league and is more than just a standout player. However, right now, since the Connecticut Sun defeat terminated her season, the league is finding it difficult to sustain the momentum she created. The WNBA doesn't appear to be able to duplicate the intensity without her. That was brought about by Clark.
Women that have been calling for the equality, and now that there is the chance for them to start getting paid more because the exposure's up. Because it's her, you have people like, what's her name, Jamelia Hill or what? I can't stand her.
Yeah.
You got these women who are coming on here and they're saying it's because she's...
The WNBA has actually utterly collapsed in a number of areas, and it's evident that Caitlin Clark's absence has resulted in a severe decline in the league's performance. The WNBA was alive when Clark was playing. The excitement, the buzz. There was a lot of excitement. Those who didn't usually watch women's basketball suddenly became fixated on their displays, anticipating Clark's next move with great anticipation. Let's be honest. The WNBA is lacking its spark without Clark, and the statistics support this, as attendance and viewership have undergone a sharp decline. Strong numbers were predicted for this postseason season, particularly after Clark's successful regular season. Both the league and its supporters were hopeful, in the hopes that Clark's popularity would continue into the postseason, generating a spike in viewing and audience participation. However, those predictions were not fulfilled. Rather, since her departure, TV viewership have plummeted and stadiums aren't as full as anticipated. To put things in perspective, nearly 1 million people regularly attend Caitlin Clark's performances. Yes, 1 million people watch her alone. This kind of viewership is almost unheard of for the WNBA in recent years. Since the league had previously had trouble attracting such large crowds, people set up their timetables around her games, making sure they could see her live from home or in person.
There is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball ratings. Kudos to her. She has elevated an entire sport in viewership.
However, the league is now finding it difficult to sustain that interest in her absence, in the absence of Caitlin Clark. The WNBA's viewership is hardly 300,000 per game. That is a startling decline in viewership that says a lot about her significance and power. People want to watch Clark play, her personality, her playing style. And she is an athlete that goes beyond the game because of her capacity to perform in crucial situations. However, when she's not engaged, it seems as though nobody is concerned.
Caitlin Clark is coming. Some people think she's already arrived. I don't. I think she's going to be even better. I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoops, there is no woman who should negate mentioning Caitlin Clark and what Caitlin Clark is doing for the game.
Simply put, there isn't the same level of interest, and the league, which was flourishing when she was playing, feels like it's hobbling as it approaches the finish line. It's about her rather than merely Clark's skill as a player, being a unique athlete who is in high demand. Additionally, when that phenomena isn't evident, the WNBA finds it difficult to maintain the kind of attention it had during her breakthrough season as the excitement quickly wanes. Yes, she can score from wherever, make accurate dimes, and dominate games by herself. However, her influence extends well beyond the statistics. Few athletes are able to transcend the sport as Caitlin Clark does. She infuses every game she participates in with a certain amount of vigor, excitement, and unpredictability. You have no idea where she's heading to do next, but you can be sure that it will be something exceptional. Her games are therefore quite popular. Stadiums and the reasons millions of people watch from home. Caitlin Clark is a spectacle, therefore people watch her, not merely a participant.
Clark, number 1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4. We talked about this earlier in the season. I feel sad that Kate Martin also hasn't gotten as much playing time the second half of the season. I feel like she deserves more, or maybe she deserves a different team. How crazy would that be if she went to Indiana? Just saying.
She exudes an irresistible charm. She is more than simply a basketball player. She always puts on a show. She takes a step into the court. Her fearless demeanor, no-look passes, and long three-pointers enthrall the viewers. Fans can't match the attitude, confidence, and tenacity with which she plays. It's more than simply technique. Unable to resist being pulled in, every game can feel like an event because to Clark's unique skill, which is something you don't want to overlook. Fans adore it as well. Her enthusiasm, tenacity, and vitality are what they thrive on. A desire to succeed. However, the WNBA loses that appeal when she isn't playing. Without Clark, the league turns into a regular basketball game rather than a spectacle, and regrettably, that doesn't get as much attention. It is more difficult for even the most devoted WNBA fans to remain involved. Without her, her spark is irreplaceable, and the excitement wanes when she's not playing, leaving a clear gap that no other player or team appears to be able to cover.
Cheryl Swoops, all y'all other haters out there, and I'm gonna call you out, man, because it's blatantly obvious why you're hating on the young lady. If she was black, man, everybody be going crazy about Caitlin Clark right now, but she not. And what I appreciate about it is just that she ain't stereotypical.
Fans are more irritated by the way the WNBA appears to be handling Caitlin Clark during her playtime. You would expect that a player of her quality, who is attracting enormous viewership and showcasing the league, they would be appreciated and safeguarded on the court. That hasn't been the case, though we have repeatedly witnessed referees mistreat Caitlin and refuse to provide her with the same calls that would be easily received by other players in the league. Whether her discs are being hacked, the whistles hardly ever seem to go her way, whether she is fouled on the outside or pushed into the paint. rather than appreciating her talent. While guaranteeing fair play, officials have continuously permitted her to be viewed as the issue. On the ground, it is perplexing that the referees show such disrespect, especially in light of how crucial Clark is essential to the league's prosperity. It seems like the WNBA is unaware that she is their greatest player. Asset. They let her be mistreated rather of supporting and shielding their burgeoning star. The league is opposed to her. Succeed or, worse, doesn't give a damn about how this treatment affects their audience. Fans are aware of this and are fed up with it. People are not ignorant to it. They are able to recognize when a player is being unfairly singled out. And many of them have lost faith in the league due to the ongoing prejudice against Caitlin, rather than encouraging the excitement. The devotion that Clark offers the WNBA, this behavior is alienating fans and making them wonder about the priorities of the league. Although tremendously devoted, Clark's fans are nevertheless tired of him. They're tired of the hatred.